Marc Thiessen comes in now. Marc, good morning to you. 10 days ago, you wrote an indictment would help Trump. Maybe that's what Democrats want. I don't know if you've changed your mind on that since then. But Jen Psaki over the weekend told Democrats to stay away from this. Have a listen here.
Now is not the time for a mass order of lock 'em up T-shirts and mugs. That's exactly what Trump and his supporters would do. Now is also not the time for Democratic candidates to celebrate, to brag, to predict the outcome of the legal cases. If you can, I'd actually just put your head down and stay out of it for now.
Marc, where are we now? And where will we be tomorrow?
That's good advice. That's a good tactical advice. But look, it's going to the indictment will help Donald Trump win the nomination, and it'll help Democrats win the presidency. That's why they're happy about it. I mean, look, Donald Trump knows that it's going to help him win the nomination because he said it last week he wants the perp walk. And why is that? It's because even Republicans who, a majority of Republicans want someone else to be the nominee, but even Republicans who are open to another candidate don't want to see their country turned into a banana republic where we weaponize the justice system to go against our political opponents. I mean, Donald Trump is even if a majority don't want him to be the nominee, he has 77% approval in the Republican Party. Most Americans and most Republicans think that he was an outstanding president who did a lot of great things. They just think that he lost 3 elections in a row and don't want to lose a 4th. But they don't hate him. And so if you have this the left going after him in this way, that's going to cause a rally around effect, and they're going to say this is not just about Trump. This is about defending our system. This is about defending the politicization of our justice system, which is fundamental. The funny thing is the left always says that Trump is destroying our democratic institutions. No, the left is destroying our democratic institutions by going after Donald Trump. This is destroying our justice system. This is undermining the credibility of our justice system. The left says, oh, the Supreme Court has been politicized. Good Lord, you have a former president being indicted on the weakest charges you could possibly bring against him in this case, and it's a politicized prosecution, and they're the ones destroying our institutions. And so there's going to be a rally around effect on the right of people who say we don't want this to happen. It should be a rally around on the left too for people who don't want to destroy our institutions.
Marc, some Republicans out there might be looking at this, scratching their heads and thinking maybe it's time for the former president just to step aside. This is a chaotic sideshow, according to Governor Asa Hutchinson, who, by the way, just stepped into the field here. Listen to what he said this weekend.
Now that he's been indicted, should he drop out?
Well, I do. First of all, the office is more important than any individual person. And so for the sake of the office of the presidency, I do think that's too much of a sideshow and distraction, and he needs to be able to concentrate on his due process.
So, he's saying, look, this is getting in the way of all the issues that matter to Americans. But I think some Trump supporters would say this is the core issue. This is what's wrong with the justice system in our country, and it's dangerous.
It is dangerous, but he's right in the sense that Joe Biden is the worst president in my lifetime. He's unleashed the worst inflation in 40 years, the worst crime wave since the 1990s, the worst border crisis in American history, the worst decline in real wages. I mean, the problems facing our country are incredible. And so the coming election shouldn't be about Donald Trump. It should be about how do we get rid of this administration and replace it with responsible conservative alternative. And the Democrats, the reason why they like this indictment, even if they're not, Jen Psaki is warning them not to get too active in it, is they think it's going to help nominate Donald Trump. They beat him in 2018. They beat him in 2020. They beat him in 2022 because it was his handpicked nominees that cost us the Senate majority and such a small House minority. And so they think they got a great deal going running against Donald Trump. And Republicans, I think that Donald Trump was a great president. I think that he did from the Abraham Accords to Operation Warp Speed to taking out Soleimani to so many things that he did in office were outstanding. I just don't think he can win. And that's why I'm worried about this. And a lot of Republicans are going to rally around him now. And I think that's exactly what the Democrats want us to do.
On the contrails of that, Politico reports this morning that Joe Biden may not make an announcement until July at the earliest, or possibly even late summer or the fall.
Yeah.
So watch that timeline, too. Marc, nice to see you up early in Las Vegas. Have a good time, and we'll see you real soon.
Good morning.
Right on.
Thanks, Marc.
Take care.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.